Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about Victoria Beckham. She's businesswoman, fashion designer, model, singer. Beckham has become famous thanks to their female pop group Spice Girls and received the nickname Posh Spice. Beckham married the famous English football player David Beckham, and today we are analyzing her cosmogram. So, let's do interpretation of the natal chart. First, let's start with the sun. So, the sun, look at the natal chart, is the most important luminary, the center of life force. So, it is like a king on a chessboard, determines the health and well-being of the person born. Communicate the creative impulse, ideals, the desire for power, influence. So, the position of the sun in our natal chart has a fateful significance. For example, the happiest people on earth, those who do not have pronounced tense aspect with the sun. And we can see that the sun is the sign of Aries in Victoria natal chart. Aries has an inflexible character. He's always sure that he's right and does not try to subject at least some analysis of what is happening around him. Often, these qualities of a fiery nature harm Aries because he tends to focus his efforts on objects that are absolutely not worthy of attention, while the real benefits pass him by. Thanks to the natural optimism, Aries easily survives difficult times. The only thing that can unsettle him is criticism from people close to him. Encouragement and admiration. That's what this sign needs to feel the balance of internal forces. The sun in the 11th house. The 11th house, we can say that this house of hopes, desires, and friends. So, the sun in the 11th house, this type of person is successful in society. And this person knows how to win and keep friends. If you have the sun in the 11th house, you win because of their praise and support. You have big goals in life, your optimism attracts allies to you. There are some advantages of this position: idealistic and creative, big goals. But what about a disadvantage? Excessive authority. It's really a loud amount of authority. If we're talking about Victoria's position, we can say some words about her sun in the 11th field. Sometimes this type of person can have difficulty in marriage because they're really owner and can be some divorces. Also, these people should pay attention to the instructions of the seventh fields of the natal chart. I mean, to have lots of realization in society. Celebrities with the suns in the 11th house: Eva Green, Robert Pattinson, Bill Clinton, Rihanna, Angelina Jolie, Johnny Depp, Kristen Stewart. So, let's see and let's analyze aspects of the sun. So, all the planets in our solar system revolve around the sun. We got our love purpose from the sun in our natal charts. The sun is our ego. our inner child that makes the final decisions. It guides us and it can be considered the boss of natal chart. So, the first aspect is Sun Moon sextile. So, Sun and Moon sextile. A sextile between two planets, the Sun and the Moon, means harmony, of course. I can say harmony of soul and our body, so consciousness and subconscious. These wonderful astrological interactions make the owners of the aspect healthy both physically and spiritually. Since the Sun and the Moon represents the personal and social life of a person, the successful interaction of these principles make the native successful in the field of relationship and chosen activity. He perfectly understands what is needed to achieve a mutual understanding between people and quickly creates around himself a comfortable and convenient atmosphere in which it is easy to cooperate and work efficiently. So, the sextile of the Sun and the Moon make the native benevolent, kind, caring, and warm-hearted, of course. He understands which path in life he should follow, while he manages to take care of both personal gain and the benefits of others. People with this aspect are lucky in matters of property. They are exemplary family men and ideal partners. Owners of the aspect, even they do not receive a pedagogical education, for example, still raise their children well and create favorable conditions for their development. So, for them, children are everything. They do their best for children. I mean, when people with this aspect have children, they have another level of understanding their environment. I mean, they really do more efficiently. Since the Sun is the significator of a marriage for women, aspect interaction with the Moon will characterize her potential partner as a kind, caring, understanding, and merciful. Women with this aspect are popular with the strongest sex. They attract fans due to the gentleness, feminine wisdom, balance, ability to listen, understand, and calm. The marriage of such women, as a rule, is successful because it is based on mutual sympathy, sincerity, constancy of feelings, fidelity, and constancy. So they are very loyal. And for me, you are a really happy person if you have, for example, wife or a husband with this strong position. How can you harmonize this aspect? So the harmony that the sextile carries unite the Sun and the Moon, and all of the power of the elements of air and fire, earth and water to fully manifest themselves. The friendly interaction of the Sun and Moon in the elements of air and fire indicate that the native easily establishes contacts and makes agreements. In order to achieve what he wants, he has enough energy and strength. Such people love change and easily initiate it. They are confident that every new turn of fate leads them to a happier life. The sextile of the sun and the moon, combining the elements of earth and water, make the native lucky in the field of real estate. The harmony of the sun and moon is also embodied of his family and home life. The subject knows how to establish faithful partnership, create a strong alliance, and achieve material well-being. So, celebrities with the sextile moon: Keira Knightley, Angelina Jolie, Keanu Reeves, Elton Musk, Jennifer Aniston, Wolf Mason, Monica Bellucci, Ewan McGregor, Bruce Willis. So, the next aspect is Sun Mars sextile. So, we can see about the Sun and about the Mars. So, the sextile of the Sun and Mars is one of the options for successful interaction between their bodies and our soul. So, despite the fact that Mars is traditionally considered an evil planet, the harmonious aspect reduces the damage it causes to a minimum. Thanks to the sextile, the powerful energy of Mars is directed into a constructive direction. This distribution of planetary energies often brings fame and success to the native, as the Sun is associated with the fame, authority, and high position in society. So, the influence of the aspect on a person's personal qualities, behavior, activity. So, people with the sextile of the Sun and Mars know how to take care of both their own safety and the safety of others. They are determined and dexterous in the most dangerous situation. The owners of this aspect act clearly and quickly, preventing many troubles and unfavorable developments of the situations in bad. People with this constellation in their horoscope will achieve significant success if they choose activity related to sports, commerce, finance, big, very big finance, military affairs, politics, and production. Sextile of the Sun and Mars in the female horoscope. So, the two celebrities' celestial bodies, as I can say, the Sun and the Mars, symbolize the Meg principle and the radix. In a woman's chart, they describe the relationship with the owner of the horoscope develops with the opposite sex. A woman with the aspect is temperamental, sexually attractive, and knows how to establish promising relationship with stronger sex. She looks bold, independent, and at the same time unapproachable, which makes a man first seek her attention and affection and then his hand and heart. The sextile aspect between the Sun and Mars brings harmony and constructiveness to relationship with men. The owner of the horoscope is attracted to men who are strong-willed, deceive, financially secure, enterprising, and successful in society. This aspect is one of the indications of a successful and happy marriage. So, the Sun and Mars, united by sextile, emphasizing the interaction of fire and air in the horoscope, make a person proactive, I can say super active, in communication and successful in any intellectual activity. Such a subject can not only generate ideas but also ignite those around him with them. Owners of the aspect, as a rule, achieve popularity in society. They are natural negotiators, flexible partners, and successful achievers. The sextile of the Sun and Mars connected the element of earth and water imparts to the native thrift, hard work, and the ability to achieve excellent practical results. Celebrities whose suns sextile Mars: Monica Bellucci, Kristen Stewart, Sharon Stone, Scarlett Johansson, Angelina Jolie, Navalny Alexei, Donald Trump, Julia Roberts, Selena Gomez. So the next aspect is, I can say about sextile Sun and Saturn. Just as all planets in our solar system revolve around the Sun, we got our life purpose from the Sun in our natal chart. And if we're talking about Sun and Saturn, the Sun is a good planet, Saturn is an evil one, but the harm of the latter is minimal if the planets are united by sextile, which is a harmonious aspect. The Sun is the source of human strength and energy. Interaction with the calculating and pragmatic Saturn creates a personality focused on conquering peaks and achieving high goals. Saturn somewhat limits a person's ego, takes him away from holidays and fun, forcing him to think about the meaning of life. Planning, lots of planning, sober calculation, goal setting, and maintaining order are what the owner of the sextile between the Sun and Saturn values so much. The influence of the aspect on a person's life and business qualities are so large. A harmonious aspect between the Sun and Saturn makes a person intelligent, responsible, persistent, and diligent. From an early age, he understands that the path to success is not easy. From childhood, I suppose, but if you plan your activities correctly, you gradually move towards your goals. Then, sooner or later, your plans will come true. Persistence, extraordinary hard work, patience, and the ability to wait out an unfavorable period yield good results sooner or later. As a rule, people with the sextile between the Sun and Saturn make a good career and achieve authority and respect in society. The most valuable thing that a native acquires during his life is his wealth of experience and excellent professional qualities, thanks to which he becomes a desirable employee in any company and possibly the head of a responsible position. The harmonious aspects of the Sun and Saturn often endorse in the owner with longevity. Such people are tireless workers. They always have a list of goals and the tasks for tomorrow, next month, and even for the year ahead. They simply have no time to be sick and complain about their problems because there is still so much that needs to be done. Subjects in whose horoscopes there is sextile of the Sun and Saturn the most easily demonstrate their talents in the field of government, management, finance, very big finance, statistics, constructions, education. So, if we're talking about female horoscope, Saturn sextile the Sun describes not only the character of the owner of the horoscope, but also the type of man she considers most suitable for herself. Her partner must be goal-oriented, persistent, organized, and ambitious, of course. It often happens that he is somewhat older than the owner, but I'm not talking about the age, but I'm talking about social level. This is not accident, since wisdom, spiritual maturity, and serious inventions are what a woman with the sextil of the Sun and Saturn values to his chosen one. The owner of the aspect as a rule is in no hurry to get married. Sometimes the first is bearing child, and the next step for their type of relationship is married. Marriage for her is an important step in life, and she approaches choosing a partner very, very seriously and thoroughly. The sextile of the Sun and Saturn indicates the strength of relationship, patience, and the ability to successfully overcome difficulties that arise in personal life. But difficulties are very often can be uh, met with people with their aspects, I suppose. Sextile of the Sun and Saturn invariant elements. So, if the bodies, planet bodies, are located in the far, as we can see about Victoria natal chart, Sun in the areas so fire, and if we're talking about Mars in the air, signs of the zodiac, then the native throughout his life learns to master words, work with the information, and communicate it to others without distortion. Such people know how to transfer knowledge to others, give clear instructions, practical advice, and wise instructions too. Not only practical, but very, very deep. Due to the fact that the native knows how to maintain business relationship and does not violate ethical standards with communicating, he soon managed to become an authoritative figure and win the respect of others. The sextile of the Sun and Saturn manifested in the elements of water and earth places the individual emphasis on hard work, the desire for a strong position in society, and material stability. Celebrities whose sun sextile Saturn: Brad Pitt, Diego Maradona, Jennifer Aniston, Zac Efron, Penelope Cruz, Kanye West, Meg Ryan, David Beckham, Rihanna. It's very interesting that your husband has this aspect too. So, the next aspect is Sun Uranus opposition. So, let's see, Sun, but if we're talking about Uranus opposition. The opposition between the Sun and Uranus is an aspect that makes a person an unusual person, distinguished by eccentric behavior. Original worldview and non-standard actions. Non-standard, sometimes figure, face, character. The Sun symbolizes a person's ego and his life's direction. Uran imparts to the individual an element of love, of freedom, independence, and revolutionary spirit. The opposition of Sun and Uranus indicates that the native often experience difficulties interacting with society. Such a person loves to attract the attention of others, but at the same time tries with all his might to prove that he is something special and molded from a different cloth, I suppose. The owner of the opposition between the Sun and the Uranus is bright individual who realizes his extraordinary talents. Such people evolve generally accepted, cliches and templates, and often misunderstood by others. Sometimes they are considered eccentric. Tense aspects between the Sun and Uranus, which include the opposition, fill a person with internal contradictions, making him restless impatient, reckless, and prone to radical decisions. It's not easy for such people to find their place in life. They are torn between the search for their own identity and their desire to be unusual, to keep up with a group of like-minded people. As a rule, a liberation of an aspect gives a progressive and democratic personality who chooses her own path in life and achieves perfection in the field of activity that she likes. The native has good intuition and often forces many turns in his destiny and society as well. However, he is not afraid of a change. The subject greets any life changes with joy, and if they do not occur for a long time, he initiates them himself. The owner of the opposition between the Sun and Uranus is a person who is friendly towards others. Sometimes he does not take into account his own interests, trying to help his neighbor. It doesn't matter to him what social level and income his new friend is. The native can find a common language with absolutely anyone, from any class, from any job. I mean, anyone, literally. Moreover, he knows how to unite seemingly completely different people into groups and inspire them to achieve common goals. And yet, with all his friendliness, the subject is at some distance from the collective because it is important for him to perceive his individuality. People with this configuration in their horoscopes are suitable for activities related to organizing various events and teamwork. A person with an aspect between the Sun and Uranus will also be interested in any intellectual activity that involves creativity, engineering, scientific, programming, and modeling too, because modeling is making about form, about clothes, quality, quantity, about person's individuality, and for the other, it is show, it is a proper music, crowd, trend. So that's all about fashion. If we're talking about a position, Sun and Uranus in the radix of a woman, the Sun in a woman's horoscope indicates her relationship with the opposite sex, as usual. The significator of a marriage in a tense aspect with Uranus indicates that it can be difficult for a woman to maintain relationships and create alliance that requires a fulfillment of the certain agreements and responsibilities. Both partners will always have a craving for independence and freedom, which is unacceptable in a marriage. Men who come across the life path of the owner of a horoscope are distinguished by uneven character, eccentric behavior, and a tendency to destroy the norms and rules established by society. The more friendship, tolerance, and freedom there is in your relationship with him, the easier it will be. Celebrities with the Sun opposition Uranus: Jimi Hendrix, Ellen DeGeneres, Kevin Costner, Michael Jordan, Spacek, Margot Robbie, Joe Biden. So, quickens about Sun and Pluto. Pluto is, and the Sun, the quickens creates a paradoxical influence on the life of the native. Not only does it bring a repetition of the same situation from the past, including the affairs and the themes of those houses assigned where the planets are located, but it also creates contradictions in the soul. It combines the forces of trine and opposition, which of course are directly opposite to each other. It turns out of a person is lucky along the line of a planet in aspect, but internal fears and complexes force him to make the wrong choice and wrong actions again and again. The main thing is to determine why the same rake arises in life again and again, and change your attitude toward the situation with yourself. This is especially true for the words of the Sun Pluto quicknesses parts. These people are ready to move the earth in order to become famous or meet the expectations of others, but they are too sensitive to others people's attitude towards themselves. They're so in awe of the fame and wealth of other people that they are ready to break the law in order to possess the same. So, character and health during the Sun Pluto weekends. A person constantly finds himself in situations where he needs to change himself for the sake of good earnings and power. This isn't always a bad thing. For example, in order to meet the high standards of the elite circle, the native begins to take care of himself, loses excess weight, studies textbooks on economics, take financial literacy courses. That is, he transforms himself extremely and internally for the lives of his dreams. So, usually, really, he does his best. Willpower, charisma, the very personality of a person for which the sun is responsible, constantly undergoing changes under the influence of Plutonian energies. The native takes on a huge amount of responsibilities, carries favor, but huge ambitions rise in the soul. He plays the role of an obedient subordinate, but having received a high position, he changes beyond recognition. He becomes an imperious, though even narcissistic dictator. Most often, he wants to stand out in Pluto topics: money, secret influences, psychology, um, science. However, everything depends on the level of spiritual development. A person who is not burdened by moral principle will just as easy have the opportunity to become the leader of a local gang or go over the side of evil. For example, the same werewolves to uniform or forgo astray preciously under the influence of the oppositional side of the Sun Pluto weaknesses. So tomorrow we will continue to talk about Sun Pluto quicknesses, about personal life, about synastry. Subscribe, like the video, click on the bell not to miss the video, write comments. See you soon, my dear friends.